Hi class, I'm at the state basketball tournament today watching. To the substitute, please take attendance right now. All of you should be in your own seats. You should not be at the back table or moved around. You will need your Chromebooks so you can log into those. You should also turn in workbook page 154 to the basket and then spend the next 13 minutes working on Dreambox. We will continue with lesson 7.3 today, and on Thursday we will have a quiz over 7.1 through 7.3. Please pause the video while students turn in the workbook and they work on Dreambox for the first 13 minutes. At the end of 13 minutes, start the video and I will have the continued lesson. On Friday, we worked on our essential question of how are the lengths of the sides of a right triangle related. We talked about the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and we are going to continue that today. As a reminder, we have the legs are the two sides that form the right angle. They are legs A and legs B. Reminder, they can be either. This could be leg B. This could also be leg A. You can choose whichever letter you would like for that. But the legs form the right angle. The hypotenuse, again, is the opposite side of the right angle. It is also the longest side of those two angles. And again, we take the legs squared plus the legs squared equals the hypotenuse squared. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. In our first example, we are looking for side C, the hypotenuse. We have a side 6. We have a side 8. I wrote the formula again for you. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. We substitute in 6 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. When we take 6 squared, we get 36. When we take 8 squared, we get 64. That again equals c squared. I add 36 plus 64 to get my 100. C squared equals 100. Therefore, the square root of 100 is 10. The square root of c squared is c. So c equals 10 because the square root of 100 is 10. In our second example, we are again looking for the hypotenuse side C. So therefore, we take 12 squared plus 5 squared equals our c squared. You can see that 12 squared is 144. 5 squared is 25. When we add those together, we get c squared equals 169. The square root of c squared is c. The square root of 169 is 13. In our third example, we are again finding side C. One side is 3 and 6/10, 3.6. The other side is 4 and 8/10, 4.8. Please pause the video, have students see if they can solve this, and start the video when they are done. You may use calculators. Hopefully you were able to set this up as 3.6 squared plus 4.8 squared equals c squared. We got 12.96 is the square of 3 and 6/10. 23 and 4/100 is the square of 4 and 8/10. That equals c squared. When I add those two numbers together, I get 36. So c equals 36. C squared equals 36, So c equals 6. Because the square root of 36 is 6. Please see if you can do problem number 4. Again, we are looking for the hypotenuse. We have both legs, 8 and 15. Please pause the video, allow students to work on this. When they have finished, please restart the video. Hopefully you were able to solve for the hypotenuse C by putting 8 squared plus 15 squared equals c squared. 15 squared is 225. 8 squared is 64. That equals c squared. So c squared equals 289 when I add those two together. We then take the square root of 289 and we get c equals 17. We are now going to solve for one of the legs. In this case, we are going to solve for A. We know that the other leg is 5 and the hypotenuse is 13. Therefore, a squared plus 5 squared equals 13 squared. We still solve it the same way. A squared is still a squared, 5 squared is 25, and 13 squared is 169. To get a squared all by itself, we have to get rid of the positive 25. We do that by subtracting 25 from both sides to keep the equation the same. On this side, that leaves me with a squared. On the right side, 169 minus 25 is 144. When we take the square root of a squared, it is a. When we take the square root of 144, it is 12. Therefore, our answer is a equals 12. Similarly, in number 6, we are now looking for side B. We know that a is 15. We know that the hypotenuse C is 25. Therefore, we have 15 squared plus b squared equals 25 squared. 15 squared is 225 plus b squared equals 625. To get b squared all by itself, we need to subtract 225 from both sides to keep the equation the same. When we do that, we are left with b squared on the left, 400 on the right. We take the square root of 400 and get 20. We take the square root of b squared and get b. Therefore, b equals 20. In this problem, I would like the students to try to solve this one. Please use a calculator. We are solving for b. We know that a is 5.25 or 5 and 25 hundredths. We also know that c is 7 and 25 hundredths. Please pause the video while the students try to solve this problem. Please use calculators to get the squares and the square roots. Start the video when you are done with the problem, and I will have the answers. When you did this, 5.25 is A, we have B, and we have 7.25 as C. We put this in as 5.25 squared plus B squared equals 7.25 squared. Our answer, when we square 5.25, we get 27.5625. We keep B squared the same, and when we square 7.25, we get 52.5625. To get b squared all this by itself, we have to subtract this from both sides to keep the equation equal. When we do that, we get b equals 25. We then take the square root of 25, which is 5, so b equals 5. You are playing Capture the Flag. You are 50 yards north and 20 yards east of your team's base. Here's your base. 50 north, 20 east. The other team's base is 80 yards north and 60 yards east of your base, as you can see here. How far are you from the other team's base? So we need to be able to find this distance right here between us and the base. I notice that this is a right triangle. We should be able to use the Pythagorean theorem. In this case, we know that we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We take 30 squared plus 40 squared equals c squared. We take the square of 30 is 900. The square of 40 is 1600. When we get that, we get 2,500 for c squared. We then take the square root of both, and we know that this distance is 50 yards. As a final two problems before we get to the homework, the first one I would like for you to solve for the hypotenuse. This is actually C because it is the longest side. There's A and B. And the second problem, this is going to be either A or B. Here is the hypotenuse. Here is the other leg. Please pause the video while the students try to solve these two problems. Restart the video when most are done, and I will have the answers for you. The first one, with the purple triangle, you probably set it up as 9 squared plus 12 squared equals x squared. or c squared. This is 81 plus 144. In the first example, we get 15. In the second one, hopefully you set it up as 1.2 squared plus y squared or b squared equals 1.3 squared. This is 1.44 plus y squared equals 1.69 squared. Our answer again is 0.5 meters. You will have the rest of class to work on homework from the textbook, page 304, 305, problems 3 through 8 and 10 through 13. Please make sure you show your work of what you substituted in, as well as the squares and square roots. You may use a calculator. Here are problems 3 through 8 on the board. Please pause the video so that students can have this to look on if they do not have their book. When a majority of the students are done, please restart the video and I will have problems 10 through 13 available for you as well. Here is problem 10 on the tree support. How long is the wire that supports this tree? They are looking for C in this case. Again, I see a right triangle here. This is what we're looking for, C. Please pause the video while students do this. Here are the last 3 problems. Please use what you know about a square to be able to find this side. Please make sure that you find this side first. Then you will need to use this side and this side to find that side. In problem number 13, the hole is 181 yards. They are 181 yards to right there on that long side, that is C. We know that 180 is this. They want to know how far away from the hole is this X. Please pause the video and allow students to work on this. We will again be turning this in tomorrow, and we will have a quiz on Thursday over lesson 7.1 through 7.3. Thanks. Have a great day.